No, I've just cloned down an old version of Rebel, the programming language for you. And let me go into this file that doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't. And we get LSP errors, which is amazing, right? We get like actual edits in the editor because the syntax doesn't match. Now, obviously, it doesn't give us good errors, but it gives us like an error, which is always nice. That's always nice to catch before like compile time. It just speeds up the whole thing immensely. But yeah, we do have that now. And if we open, say, for example, as.avi, some random file, and we want to make like a function of double, for example, and it's going to take in an end of int, and then we say, yo, n by 2, that's what it's going to return. It's actually going to infer what it's going to have. So if we say to const x equals double 2, we know that it's an int and it's inferred somewhere, but if we say it's a string, it's going to say, yo, it was a string, but it got an int. And it knows that we got an int because it's inferred and such, right? And if we say pass in like an actual string where it wants an int, it says that. Now, obviously, this is not the shape of the errors that I would want here. So, for example, this would be once int got string. This will be like, this is going to be a lot of complexity that I'll have to add later on, but I kind of prefer that to this. Now, obviously, it's kind of bad. It's kind of bugged. It's not the best, but you know that's how it is. I also have this, right? It says here once one argument got 2, but obviously I'm gonna say like one extra argument. Yeah, one extra args. That's how I'm gonna do it, but not today. But yeah, let me actually go over how this is implemented. Let me first of all zig build lsp fetch to get our dependencies. And what does that? Huh? Oh, that was my marker work. I thought I was going crazy, Loki. Oh, is this? Okay, well, this shouldn't be here, but anyways, we're going to lsp.zig. I actually started documenting my code a little bit, so you know, if you go into server.zig, it's all documented, it's all annotated. This is not the case for anything else, which I'm gonna fix, right? I've been like specifically going out and like adding annotations everywhere to make it better. But yeah, this is what we have. We use lsp-kit made by the ZLS team. That's what they use, and they have this like little framework, quote unquote, which lets us implement our LSP very easily. We don't have to handle like the actual RPC here. We just do it. We give it like a little handler, which is like, it's an interface, essentially. Well, not necessarily an interface, but that's what we have. And it has to like have some certain functions. So for example, if we want to implement text document /hover right here, we just make a function text document /hover. And it like does it all auto-magically, which I feel like is always nice. So that's what we do here. We use our like, I have like a big workspace.zig file, right? It has like a ton of tests which role play in the tests. I feel like that's amazing. And it's like does the backend stuff for this. It like handles the whole thing with the compiler and the analyzer and the static / non-static analyzer and all of that stuff. And then this is just like a thin wrapper. It's like a little bit of glue around that. Now LSP is notoriously, well, not notoriously, I actually don't know what the community situation in here is, but it's very hard to test because you have to test it manually. And when you make like one change, it might cascade, which is like normal, but you know, I prefer to have tests. So I did it for Python, right? I pulled in pytest_lsp. That's what it uses. And I just did all of this. You know, I consulted a little bit with the LLM on how to use this, because this is just stuff that I'm not familiar with, and it's stuff that does not come up in my LSP, unfortunately. So I did have to do that. But this is a temporary solution, so and it's not gonna like get shipped to the user, so it's fine. So yeah, that's what we have to test it. It's very convenient, actually. It's very convenient because you know, when you have to write all of this like by hand, and then you have to read all of this again, and then you have to modify it like all of the time. It's important that the language like isn't efficient, but it's very easy to modify. It's very easy to delete. So yeah, this uses PyTest. PyTest is a very nice framework for which we have to like initialize a VM, which I'm not gonna do right now. But yeah, that's what we have for it. That's what it does. Yeah, and completion is just handled like this. It's a little, you know, it's a little shitty. It's not the best, but it works. All right, it works. It does all that you want here. It is like super small. It's 200 lines. What we do here, by the way, is text document slash insert. It's a protocol in LSP for expanding stuff, right? So if I say, for example, hi.avi, and I say print, and I do Control Y to confirm it, it gives me the arguments like inside the whole thing. Now it doesn't work for anything. It doesn't work for everything, so this doesn't work, and I have to fix all of that. But I'm quite like satisfied with what we have like today. I'm probably not gonna do any more LSP work because I'm the kind of guy like I like to read specs and I like to read other people's code to actually like do stuff, right? I don't like to like do guides and such. But yeah, by reading other people's code, you know how and why they do stuff in their code bases, but it doesn't necessarily map onto mine. But as a matter of fact, I recommend you do that instead of like relying on an LLM to write your code, because that's much better. What did I do here? How did I... Okay, let's go. But yeah, this like GitHub search replaces LLMs. I'm not even kidding. Like entirely. And it does like a better job of it than any LLM. So I recommend you do that. And I don't see many people actually doing it for some reason. But yeah, that's what you want to do, like all of the time. Genuinely, that's like the way you want to do it. So yeah, I think I've yapped enough about this. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, also documentation for modules. Documenting each module is always important, especially if you like the setup steps like this. You know, I have documentation for Neovim and Helix, but not for like VS Code or anything. But yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. If you know anything about LSPs, please like help me. Because I know like nothing about LSPs. I just know what other people did. But there's no like theory available on the internet. That's all that we have on us. So yeah, that's how it is. My future plans are to make an actual format for this. I wanna like start like a little new module fresh from the start that doesn't like have to work with 50,000 lines of code. I feel like that's quite enjoyable. But yeah, tap in. You know, there's gonna be a little Discord server in the description, and you wanna go over there. You wanna join that because that's a community of people who just like programming, not necessarily this language even. As a matter of fact, most people don't care about this language in the Discord server. They're just like a ton of dogs, a ton of nerds who like programming, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of that. There's like no people who LARP, which is crazy for 2026. So yeah, tap in, check it out, get Revo, the programming language, give me a star on GitHub. Check it out and submit an issue when you find a bug, because there's like a lot of bugs here that, you know, I've been fixing them. I've been, you know, trying to write a lot of code and then add tests for it, but that's a ton of work. That's a ton of work. I had to hand code like 30,000 lines of code, which is a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff for a person with memory issues. So yeah, that's how it is. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking this out.